Only power exists. Semen retention. The longer you do this, the longer you're retaining your masculine energy. And not just that, but I also think it's crucial for men that are doing this to practice good habits. You need to be clear of mind. Your mind has to be clear, sober, engaging with your daily reality so you can get the proper signals every single day. That is what's going to, that in conjunction with you retaining your masculine energy, which is your power, which is your energy. The other component of engaging soberly with your reality, those things are going to work together to help you actually become the man you are supposed to be, the man you were always supposed to be, the man all of us should be. And this means that you can't distort your perception with alcohol or nicotine or pills or partying or people. You don't want to be relying on crutches that distort your perception. When you feel pain in the course of a day, if you have frustrations, if you feel sadness, if you feel regrets, if you're having painful thoughts, painful emotions, if you dislike this person or get into it with this person, or they did something unfair, or this person did something unfair, or you feel like complaining, or you feel like, whatever, deal with it. This, every single day is an opportunity for us to get better. Every single day, these things happen for a reason. They are your teachers. And when you distort how your teachers are making you feel, the signals that are being sent to you, when you distort how you feel, when you distort the inputs, then the outputs are distorted. You will have dysfunctional thinking. You won't think clearly. You will have dysfunctional patterns of behavior, patterns of thought. Because when you are distorted in mind and you are not getting the proper signals from life, from your daily reality, when you're not feeling them, when you're not working through them, when you're distorted and you're feeling good, when all the bad things are happening, but you're feeling good, you end up not developing according to reality. You're not developing according to what is happening to you. You're developing according to a distortion. You are distorted. You are not here. Even though you're physically here, all of us are physically here. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you are not here. And this is also a reason why semen retention is so important, because for most of us, that was our big escape. That was our distortion. That was our way, our outlet to feel better, to not deal with the hard realities of life that every man is supposed to deal with. Inescapable. It's inescapable. And it's there for you. It's literally all there for you. All your pain, all your suffering, all the difficult people, all the difficult things that you come across in your life, they're there for you. If you would but only engage with it and not run from it, not think that it's wrong, not think that it's wrong to feel bad, feel pain, feel upset, feel like they did you wrong, feel like this person sucks or that person is unfair or she did me wrong or my parents they don't understand me or they're just tyrannical or whatever. It's all for you. You get better at dealing with these things. You can learn from every single thing that happens to you. You learn from every interaction, everything. But to learn and develop and get better and get more powerful, get more experience, get hardened, get wise, you actually have to feel the pain, feel the difficulties with everything. And that includes, obviously, semen retention. Ejaculation is not an outlet. It's not a numbing agent. It shouldn't be used in that way. It is literally its only purpose, its only biological purpose is for procreation. That's it. That's it. It is not supposed to be abused and used in any other means. You are supposed to have this energy within you. It is natural. It's not an appeal to nature, but it is. We can learn a lot from nature. And the laws of nature govern us. So with that being said, men today, I kind of want to talk about the practical aspects, not just semen retention, but also the longer that you retain this energy, what you're going to start to notice is that a lot of your previous conscious experience, all of what you knew of yourself, your identity, were not really things, were not really you. They were others. They were other people's thoughts, other people's fears, other people's morals, other people's views, opinions, and they were impressed onto you. And the thing for men today, the biggest thing that I want to stress here is I truly believe that most men grew up with a very dominant mother that put a lot of guilt and shame into you that is not yours. And worse, you didn't grow up with a father. I don't think most of us grew up with a father that was any sort of bulwark against this, that cushioned this in any way. Because the father, ideally, is supposed to instill confidence, instill a sense of initiative, of capability, of power, of you being able to take on the world by yourself, not needing any guidance, not needing anybody's approval. You fixing things, working through things yourself. That is what the father is supposed to instill in the son. And the mother that I think we all grew up with, put a lot of guilt and shame into you that is not yours. And you're going to start to realize this when you start to really develop a lot of masculine energy within you. When you start to engage with your reality head on without delving into alcohol or drugs or using other people for stimulation. When you're willing to be alone with your thoughts and yourself. When you're starting to do self-reflection, self-inner work, you're going to start to realize when this abundance of energy comes through you, starts to build. I've often said that it feels like there's a cocoon of energy around you, and you are not as penetrable by the thoughts and the opinions of others that you used to be. But what this also means is the thoughts and opinions of others that were instilled in your mind, that were a part of your identity, these also start to erode. They start to leave. And what you realize is that you actually feel way better. You're a lot more powerful. And the guilt and shame, even though others still feel it, the people that gave it to you, they still feel their guilt and shame. Society has all this guilt and shame that they put on men, and they will still feel it themselves because they feel it. But when it's no longer a part of you, when it's no longer in you, when you have so much power and energy within you, and you feel so good within yourself, when you start to develop your own sense of power and confidence and what's right and wrong with your clear mind and your abundant energy within you, you realize that you no longer feel this guilt and shame, even if others try to make you feel it now. For all of your life, if you were like me, I didn't even know it. I didn't even know it. Most of us don't even know that we have this deep need for approval from others, deep need for, being accepted, not feeling guilty, not feeling shame. And we think it's actually our own internal morality, when really it's not. What I'm starting to realize on semen retention is that a lot of this actually fades away. A lot of this was not me. And it's not you. Some of it might be you. I'm not saying that all of it will disappear. Obviously, guilt and shame, they do play a role in sort of the checks and balances of power. But I feel like the amount of guilt and shame that men feel today is astronomically high. The guilt and shame that we feel today is way more than what we should feel. We should feel a fraction of that, a fraction. And it should come from inside of you. It should come from inside of you. If you feel good and you know you're acting good and you know that you're more clear of mind than others around you, if others are distorting their realities, if they're escaping the reality, and you're actually here with it, you're engaging with it, and you're building up your masculine energy within you, then you're going to feel that what you do, what you're doing, what you're thinking, your opinions of things are right. You have to be that for yourself. You have to have the confidence within yourself that I am. Try not to think of it in terms of right and wrong, but you're necessary. You are necessary. There's so much around us in society that tells us what's right and wrong. And I'm not saying that Some of these things aren't wrong. We all have our own internal subjective morality. I think we all intuitively know what is right and wrong. I think we all have a sense of that, especially men. Especially men. With our divine masculine energy, I think absolutely we know. We are the leaders. If we're the leaders of this, if we're the more dominant sex, then it would make sense that the leaders should have a deeper sense, a deeper intuition, a connection to what is right and what is wrong. And it doesn't matter what the entirety of society is saying at the current moment in time, the current era. A man knows he's right inside. He knows he's doing what's right, what's virtuous inside. He feels the energy within him. He feels called to it. He feels that it's absolutely necessary. And it doesn't matter if 99% disagree. That's why it's so important. You see? It's so important to follow your internal compass, your moral compass, so to speak. It's so important to know that you are on the right track, that what you're doing is not wrong. You can't be guilted or shamed. You can't be torn down. You can't be minimized. People are going to have to make way for you now. And they will. But it's so important because you can get into times like this. Because there have been times like this throughout all of human history where everybody starts to get absolutely delusional. Where in the entirety of society, where most of the masses are always, usually, insane. They don't know it. That's the thing. That's part of it. That's why they're insane. They don't know it. They all think that they're sane. They all think that they're right. They all think that they're doing the right things, even though they're all abiding by the same opinions and views of others and approval and validation, and everybody's just bouncing off of each other, following each other, copying each other. Partying because it's in vogue, talking the same way because it's in vogue, drinking and smoking and hanging out and doing crazy drugs because it's in vogue, going here, going there because it's in vogue. Meanwhile, these people are not individuals. They fear. They fear to be individuals. They fear to blaze their own path, to give themselves their own sense of what is right and wrong, their own sense of what they need to do, their own sense of purpose. They fear that. Because it is terrifying. It is terrifying to step into reality, to let go of all of who you thought you were, to let go of the approval and the validation, the acceptance, and the love from the masses. That's all you ever knew. That's all we ever knew. And so when you let that go, it's terrifying because you're giving up who you were. You're giving up your sense of identity. Even though it was never your identity. It was the identity of everybody else. True individuals, they're willing to say what others won't. They're willing to do what others won't. That's what men have to be. That's what us men on Semen Retention are going to be. The new breed. Men that no longer can be guilted and shamed by corrupt, demonic, masculine women and feminine, demonic, submissive men that are so rampant and prevalent, ubiquitous in society today. And when you start to retain this energy, you start to get a sense that when you're clear of mind and you're doing virtuous things, when you're adhering to the laws of nature, when you have power, because power is unmistakable, you either have it or you don't. When you have power, you start to realize that you can bend others to your will. You can exert your will. And that's why power, it is so crucial to have it in conjunction with positive habits, a clear mind. So that way you can make the best decisions, the right decisions. Have the universe or God work through you. It's none of your business how it works, what happens. But you know it, that it's right. And others do too. You'll notice that people will start to kind of complete strangers, maybe coworkers, just people that you come across in your daily life. They start to help you in small ways, almost as if they just want to serve. They want to serve the energy. They want to serve the power, almost as if it's a sin not to. Almost as if they unconsciously recognize that you are a person that needs to be helped, that needs to be treated well, treated with respect, because you're taking on something that most people aren't, that most people are deathly afraid of. They see that you're doing what they can't. You are doing what they can't. You are making the sacrifice that they cannot. You are a vessel for something greater. And they need to get out of the way or help. Because only power exists. You're gonna have to let go of your previous ideas and views of what's right and wrong. because most of that was not yours. Most of that was others. That were their views and their opinions. Now you're going to have your own. You're going to start to develop your own internal moral compass. And it might be at odds with what society operates on. But this is the path. This is the path forward to retainers. If you can handle the power, obviously you're going to have setbacks. There's going to be, I think that relapses are sort of ways that your body is basically saying, we can't handle the power that's within us right now. But you build up that capacity. You're building up a higher capacity to handle more power. And that in conjunction, I cannot stress this enough, it is not just enough to do semen retention if it's not in accordance with other habits. It's a package deal. So you have to engage with reality. You have to take on the pain that you've been avoiding for so long, that everybody else around you in society avoids. That way you can actually work through this reality like it's yours, like you know it. Like you know it. I've seen this. I've had this interaction with this type of person before. They've said this to me like this before. I know how to handle this. This doesn't shake me. I'm unshakable. Yeah, this was unexpected. This would have stressed me out before, but no. I've handled it now. I didn't get home from a long day at work and release and down 6 beers and smoke some weed and scroll on the internet to evade what I needed to feel. No, because the signals are everything. The signals are everything for you. The signals are everything. And you only know this when you actually start to witness it for yourself. You start to witness the power that you have, the wisdom, the discernment, the experience. You can handle situations. And in situations before where you would complain. I see men today, young men today, they tend to complain. Some of the guys that I work with, they can kind of get into a complaint mode. I used to be that way. But I cannot stress this enough. Complaint, you need to transmute that. You need to channel complaint into action. Anytime you feel like complaining, like, oh, this is so wrong, blah, blah, blah. You just want to complain. You need to stop and act. Fix it. Or if you can't fix it, stop complaining. But most of the time we can fix it. We can act. You can take action and take the complaint and throw it out the window. Be a master of your universe. Be a master of your daily life reality. If something's wrong, fix it. Even if you don't know the practical knowledge or the skills or whatever, try, give it a try. Have some belief in yourself. Have some belief that you can do things that you've never done before. It's going to give you a sense of power. It's going to give you a sense of confidence, assurance in yourself. Oh, it's so great. It feels so great to start taking control, to no longer be looking to an authority figure. We often do that at jobs. You look to an authority figure or somebody that's more skilled to handle something. In certain situations, yes, you might need somebody that has actual deep skills in something that you just don't have the technical skills for. Well, if there's ever an issue where you can handle yourself, don't get authorities involved. Handle it yourself. You can the complaint is there for a reason. We all, men feel like they want to complain, and that, yeah. What you learn from that, when you're engaging with your daily reality, when you're not escaping it, what you learn from all these moments that come up where you feel like you want to complain, you get tired of it. You get tired of complaining. You get tired of complaining, and you just say, fuck it. I'll do this myself. I'll do it. I'll take care of it. That's always what a man should think and view himself as. The guy who can get it done, that can fix it, that can find a solution. Decisiveness. It don't even have to be the right. Sometimes in life, you don't even necessarily need to make the right decision. Or what's the, if you weigh all the options and sit down and think about it for all this time, sometimes you just need to be decisive. Sometimes there's no time. And people just want decisiveness. They just want somebody to make a decision, just be firm, take the blame, take the responsibility of that decision. Step up, take the blame and responsibility of your decision, own it. A lot of the times people just want that. They just want somebody to put the blame on. But they respect that person. They respect that person. That person is seen as leader. The person they can put the blame on, the person that will just make a decision, even if it wasn't the best decision, that is something that people love. Women especially, they're looking for. They're such indecisive creatures, looking for just decisiveness. Anyway, for fear of making this video too long, I think I've said everything I need to say in this video. Only power exists. Find out for yourself. That's it. That's the video.